G'day growers, welcome to Oz Grow Gear. In this video, we'll be reviewing and comparing 3 different options for pre-made, ready-to-use seed and cutting media that you can buy off the shelf from Bunnings. We've got 3 different brands, 2 different pack sizes, and 3 different price points. Compare the texture, what the stated features and benefits are on the packaging, final thoughts on what might be a good option for your indoor garden. So this video is my opinion and it's provided for education and product review purposes only, so always do your own research. So as you can see, we've got 2 bigger bag sizes here and 1 smaller one. So the Sea Soul and the Scots are both come in 10 litre packs. The Yates comes in a 2.5 litre pack. So sticker price is cheaper, but on an equivalent basis, and we'll throw it up on the screen now, the Yates mix works out to be about twice the price. So is it twice as good? We'll check it out against the others. Yeah, there are of course many other options. These ones were prominently placed on the shelving at Bunnings, and no doubt would be some of the more popular mixes. Of course you can make your own. Jiffy pellets in both the peat and cocoa versions. Pressed cocoa bricks that's advertised as seed raising mix, and many other options. You could just of course use a standard potting mix that's been sieved to get rid of the chunky pieces. So what would you be looking for in a potting mix? Particularly one for starting seeds or rooting clones, potting up seedlings, maybe your first transplant. So you generally want a mix that is pretty free draining and with good aeration. You don't want anything that will stay moist, overly moist for too long, which could cause problems with your clones or seed starts. So generally we're looking for a finely textured mix with most of the chunky pieces sieved out. Something that has some low levels of nutrients, so enough to get the plants going for the first couple of weeks, and then before you transplant them up into a bigger pot with a more substantial mix, you start adding your nutrients. So these 3 products are marketed as specialty potting mixes. Let's take a look and see how they compare. Alright growers, so let's start with the Yates specialty potting mix for cuttings and seeds first. Should mention that all 3 products were certified to the regular Australian standard, the black tick, as opposed to the red premium. So all 3, I believe, have the black tick, but we'll confirm that when we look at the others. So first impressions when I opened the bag is that it's a very loose and sandy mix, very small particle sizes, and yeah, not a lot of chunky wood pieces, some cocoa fibres, bits of quartz, plenty of sand is visible. So we'll get it out onto a tray, take a look. Not sure how well that comes through, but plenty of sand, very finely textured mix. And set some quartz or rock for some drainage, but yeah, there is a substantial proportion of sand, so it would certainly drain freely. I'll be interested to see how well it holds on to moisture, given that there's a lot of filler material. So I can see coming up to the top some slow release fertilizer prills, so just a few small ones, so it would have some nutrition, but how much is inherently in the mix, it's hard to say. So definitely got a good bit of weight to it, and I think would be perfectly suited for starting seeds or rooting clones. Should drain quite well. It's just how frequently you'd have to water it would be an interesting point to watch. So at double the price of the others, we'll check them out now and see how they compare. Right, so the next one we'll check out will be the Sea Soul Seed Raising and Cutting Potting Mix. Now, what's noteworthy on the back, right at the bottom, it's hard to see, but at the very bottom of the pack, there's a logo of Pine Grow and the comment, packed for Seasol International, managed and distributed by Pine Grow Products, based in Victoria. So my first thoughts when I open the bag is that it's definitely a pine bark based mix. As soon as you open it, it's visibly very different from the Yates mix. Sorry, I'll just reach in a little bit. So yeah, some wood pieces. It has been sieved or screened down to a very fine portion, but it appears to be predominantly pine bark, finely sieved pine bark. Can't see any evidence of cocoa fibres. There's some small bits of stones or bits of rock in there, but basically small and large. That might be eucalyptus chips or some sort of hardwood mulch or compost, but it's a very finely textured mix that appears to be predominantly pine bark, which is not surprising given the manufacturer. So it's a very light, spongy mix. I'm sure it would be perfectly suited for starting seeds and clones. So there might be some small prills of slow release fertilizer. So definitely some larger pieces in there. Chipped up hardwood. Yeah, I'm not sure how well it'll hold up in terms of moisture retention. So for our third and final product, let's have a look at the Scott's Osmocote Seed and Cutting Specialty Potting Mix. Said the stated benefits on the pack: 6-month control release fertilizer, which would be the Osmocote portion of it, wetting agent, water crystals, growth stimulants, trace elements, and coir peat. And yeah, right off the top, definitely a different mix to both of them, somewhere sort of in the middle, but a lot more moisture in the bag, and it's a nice fluffy mix with plenty of sand. So it appears to be so it's a nice light fluffy mix that seems to be very finely screened with a good amount of sand, but it's nice and spongy, doesn't clump together. There are some very small pieces of pine bark or shredded wood products. Good amount of sand. Must be the cocoa pith. No real long fibres that I could see, but it's definitely a nice, light, airy mix, and I think that would do quite well. So we'll fill up our cell, tamp it down. So definitely got a nice texture. I have to say it's probably the pick of the three. I think it would drain well, but also hold on to a good amount of moisture. It will, over time, slowly release nutrients. It's unlikely you leave it in the mix for 6 months. Of course, you'd be potting up well before then, but I think it'll be a good mix to give them a good start. Well, growers, my final thoughts. Comparing the three, the Yates mix was very fine, very sandy, well suited to species that don't mind dry conditions. You'd have to keep the moisture up to it. So the Seasol product appears to be predominantly based on pine bark, which may or may not be the best option long term. I'm sure the seeds would take in it, but you'd probably want to be transplanting it into something more substantial fairly quickly. And of the three, the Scott's Osmocote was probably the best mix in my opinion. It's got a really nice feeling texture. I think it'd drain well. So that'd be my suggestion as a good option for your home garden. Well, there we go, growers. 3 options. Let us know what you think. Have you had good success with any one of these products? Yeah, so leave a comment down below. Let us know where you're watching from, what your preferred product is to start for starting your seeds. Hope you've enjoyed the video and there's more content coming. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. We've got more content coming. So give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.